Good morning. Yeah, just excited for another week of football. Obviously looking back on the game at North Dakota, still, disappointed in the way that the outcome, I think that we have a better football team than that. I think we learned a lot about ourselves and some things that we can get corrected going into week two. So a lot of the same things that I said after the game when you went back and watched the film. Turnovers, you just can't win, and we got to get that corrected. There's no magic formula to that. You got to make good decisions with the ball from the quarterback position, and then you got to have great ball security. You got to cherish the ball. The number one thing is to get up with the football, and then we got to find ways to create turnovers ourselves on defense, and I believe those will come. And then some things that we've got to clean up. I think that really that was the first time that we had tackled live. We had done that early in our training camp for a few plays. We were limited in a couple spots. Romir and Javon got cleared the week of the game, so they weren't able to get tackled. So we just had Justin Strong really through training camp. So as far as our scrimmages go, we didn't want to just run Justin into the ground. So we were kind of limited in that. So it was good for us to get out and play all those snaps. You'd rather learn from a win, but we're going to have to learn from a loss and move on. And we've got a great team, obviously, coming in that we have to do that against. So look forward to the challenge. That's what I talked to our guys about yesterday. We got right back on the field yesterday afternoon and practiced. Got some corrections done, watched the film, owned our mistakes, and then and moved on. And that's where we're at right now. We're in the middle of game planning for North Dakota State. They got a big win yesterday against Youngstown. They're 2-0. They've won 39 games in a row. I don't know all the good things that we can say about that program. 7 out of 8 national championships. So, but we'll be ready to play. We played them last year. And most of the guys that will be taking the field played in that game, and you got to be able to make some plays, and you got to do a lot of things right if you want to have a chance at the end to beat them. So we'll dive into the game plan and look forward to a good week of practice.
Okay, let's take questions, and we'll go first to Jason Hurst.
Coach, what did you like from when you watched film? What were the things, the positives that you can build off?
Yeah, I think I do think we have a good football team and we'll show that throughout this season. I think that obviously the first when we were in rhythm on offense, I feel like Correa probably graded out during his reps as good as a game as he's played here, 12 of 14 with the touchdown. The first fumble he can't have. Really, the second fumble, that's just as much on the play call. They dialed up a perfect pressure at the perfect time and brought two guys from the weak side. We didn't have enough to pick him up. He's right-handed. He didn't see the corner coming. The corner, obviously took him out of the game and took a shot that most people wouldn't hang on to the football during that time. It was a great play by them. That's really not on Correa. So I felt like Correa played at a high level. I think, in Nick, there's a lot of positives to build on from Nick too. He did some good things. He's obviously got to cherish the football better on those 2 interceptions backed up. But I think, there's a lot of good things to build off of. I've talked about this. It felt a lot like SEMO last year in 2019, how we started that game, and you got into the second half and just really didn't feel like yourselves, and you're playing a good team and they make you pay and you're down by 3 scores and the game kind of gets away from you. And so last year we had to do the same thing. We had to get back in here and refocus. We went on the road to get a win against UMass. This year we're going to have to refocus and get a win against the best team in the country. And so we look forward to that challenge.
When I'm watching the game on Saturday, it's hard. You only can see the angles they want to give you, so it's kind of hard to see some of the things as far as like decision making. Like one thing that jumped out at me with Gray, was it a position with him? where he couldn't slide. I felt like that first hit he took, is that on him maybe trying to slide better? I felt once he took that big hit, he was a little different. And then also, when I mentioned the angles, is that just him holding on to the ball too long with the fumbles, or is there some breakdowns in the offensive line too?
Yeah, like I mentioned, the first one, number one, he shouldn't take the first hit that he takes. As a quarterback, that's on him. We teach him to slide right there. There's no reason to take that hit whenever you're not going to be able to get the first down. It's early in the first quarter. You got to protect yourself. You got to get down. We got to punt. So taking unnecessary hits isn't what we're about here. I'm all for, trust me, being a physical running quarterback and when the time is needed. But right there, he should have got down and saved a hit right there. But he responded well, and we were on another scoring drive on his first fumble. It was a breakdown in protection. I mean, the nose guard, we had a 7-man protection on full slide. You should be able to have some time. We were setting up a little play for Avante down the sideline. It was a breakdown in protection, but when it comes right up the middle, you should be able to see that as a quarterback. He felt it, just didn't have great ball security. So it wasn't really anything about sliding or anything like that. It was a breakdown in protection. The defensive tackle really had a free lane at him. You got to concede the play. It's a first down call. We lose 5 yards. We're 2nd and 15, and we're playing winning football. We get back into a third manageable and have to kick a field goal, and that's how you win football games. And we've got to learn from that. And then the second one, like I said, that wasn't really on Correa. They brought a corner cat and they brought the wheel linebacker. We had a 5-man protection call on second down, and they timed up a perfect blitz. And we've talked about that going into they bring pressures from different spots. And looking back, shouldn't have probably, obviously, maybe put us in that situation. And you just didn't have enough guys to pick them all up. The corner came free and hit Correa, and that's where the second fumble happened.
And with North Dakota State, they're a team that will capitalize on your mistakes. From the game film, they're probably going to give a lot of pressure too. So, you guys, is that something you're going to talk about? Of that, again, I'm sure you're bringing it up with us, but harping on the can't turn it over, but also expecting a lot more pressure from North Dakota State.
Yeah, North Dakota State doesn't really change much for you. I think they make you adapt to who they are. They're going to play fundamentally sound. Every team's going to bring pressures. I mean, they're going to have their pressure packages. Every defensive coordinator, some are going to pressure more than others. I would say, in the grand scheme of things, probably percentage-wise, they never play from behind, so they don't pressure as much. They're going to make teams. They're going to get a lead. They're going to run the football. They're going to make you to earn it. They usually have the best defensive line in the country, so they can get away with 4 and 5-man pressures where they don't have to bring 6 and 7 guys to create negative plays. They just have better players than most teams, and let those front 4 go to work. And so, percentage-wise, North Dakota State doesn't pressure as much as most teams. They will, and like I said, we'll be prepared for what we think they're going to do. But North Dakota State's not a team that watches another team in front of them. They have a completely different scheme than North Dakota. So we got to be prepared for what North Dakota State does.
And then the last thing for me, as you prepare for them, I guess now, new quarterback for them. What do you, I guess, going in, what do you kind of know about them, and what is the game plan, I guess?
Yeah, it's kind of like my last answer. I mean, they don't change much. They're extremely well coached, disciplined, new quarterback, but the last 4 quarterbacks have won national championships. So their plan is that this one steps in and keeps it going. It's really a program and a system that's built. It's a system that's built on physicality and execution and running the football. I mean, they're never going to be a team that they spread you out and try to stay balanced. And this quarterback's got a strong arm and will fit right in. But they're going to come downhill at you, and if you can't stop the run, it's a long day against them.
Okay, next we'll go to Todd Hepperman with questions.
Yeah, Nick, thanks for joining us. Was Correa able to go yesterday? How was he doing?
No, he didn't practice yesterday. I mean, we don't do a lot of throwing, but on Sundays, anybody that's dinged up will he got a workout in and did some things. So he's seeing our medical staff and things today. I mean, he was moving around well, was in the meetings and doing some things. But obviously, I mean, the day after you get off the plane and stuff, and you got a sore rib, you're not going to feel too good. But those are all things that players have to manage through. Really, it's about pain, your pain tolerance and what you can handle with a rib. So we'll see how he gets. But today's their day off, so it'll be a good day of rest for those guys, and then get him back in here tomorrow afternoon and see what he can get done this week in practice.
I mean, I know it's hard to project. I mean, so is it fair to say he's probable or questionable, or how would you describe it?
Yeah, I would say questionable. Honestly, we don't staff meet until 4 o'clock on Monday afternoons. We're in there game planning, so I don't even talk to the medical staff until 4 o'clock this afternoon. So probably have a better idea as the week goes on. I would say questionable to probable. I know he wants to play and expects to play, and we'll do what's right and what our doctors say.
Was Stone available, or is Nick your backup quarterback this season? So
Yeah, Nick is our backup quarterback. Stone was on the trip, is ready to go as well. But we had announced that Nick was our backup.
Sure. And you said with the weather, and you may have to play yourself into shape. With this year. I mean, NDSU makes a living out of wearing teams out. I mean, how prepared do you feel like your team is for a physical 4-quarter game on Saturday?
Well, we don't have much choice. I mean, we got better from Saturday. Like I said, obviously you don't want to ever have that feeling, but you've got to get better. I mean, that was the most we had played yet. It wasn't like a normal training camp where you've had 2-a-days and long practices, or like we talked about, not even that style, but even an extended practice. I mean, it's been over 2 weeks since we've had like a field that we could legitimately run, full speed routes and cut them loose without, really thinking that we could get injured. Really, there was. We're thankful that they cleared the field, that we could practice some, but even with the temperatures, we were never out there more than an hour. So, like Jawan Blankenship, that was the first time that we had ever seen Jawan play and tackle anybody. He didn't get cleared from his tricep injury until the Thursday before, and then the way practices were leading up to the game, I mean, really, we cut him loose. He started in the game, but. So obviously he's got to get into playing shape and play. At this time in normal years we would have 2 scrimmages and a lot of practices under our belt and get those guys ready. Like I said too, at running back, neither Javon or Romir had practiced until the third. They both got cleared. Javon got cleared the day before the game, so neither one of them had gotten tackled or really had reps to get going. But we knew all that going through, so it wasn't a surprise to us. That's just where we were at, and so Saturday was good for us to get out there and play and be sore today and physically tackle and watch ourselves on the defensive side of the ball and clean up some tackling. And the best way to get better at tackling is practice and tackling. So. That was our real first opportunity to do that.
Do you think you'll get Aaron Maddox back for this game, or do you think he's going to be?
No, he won't be ready for this game. I'd say he's really looking at probably week 4. He's not within that 4 months yet. Actually, I think it'll be like the week after Youngstown is what we're shooting for. Giegling will be back for this game. He got cleared the day of the game. But again, he hasn't he's practiced, but just non-contact. We had a lot of guys that hadn't had any contact leading into that game. So Giegling is cleared and for full go practice this week, and we'll get to play, which will be big. I mean, our inside linebackers didn't come out of the game. And so that's the other thing is just, Bryson and Bryce, and it was good for them to have to strain and push through. But you could see us in that second half missing some tackles that we need to be able to make. And we just got to get better from Saturday.
Andy, Quay Brown, familiar with your program, obviously. Was it hard for him to reintegrate himself?
No, I think Quay graded out pretty good. Quay was in the right spots, did some good things. Missed one tackle that he should have made. I think he graded out maybe with 2 missed assignments, but played a solid game. Proud of Quay and the way he came in. Got dinged up, but really that was probably the best news as far as the injuries go. As Quay's will be full go in practice starting tomorrow and be ready for the game. But yeah, I think that you'd ask anybody. I mean, that's why you like to have some preseason games in the NFL or some scrimmages, and that's why you scrimmage against some other teams. Is Quay hadn't played in 450 days since North Dakota State the year before. So just lining up and getting that feeling back, he's obviously going to take steps forward in his play.
But with the locker room, I mean, he went in the portal, he came back.
Oh yeah, I mean these guys have been together. I mean, Quay's in the 2016 recruiting class. We wouldn't have let him come back if it was. I mean, that's our job as coaches. If we felt like there was a problem in the locker room, guys that do that, and I think that it would take a certain circumstance, somebody that goes in the portal. I love Quay Brown and his mom and his sister, his family. He's like family. So we were trying to help him out and trying to let him make the best decision for what's best for Quay. And, ultimately his teammates 100% wanted Quay to come back because they've been together for a long time.
What kind of atmosphere do you expect? It's not going to be half full, but there are going to be hopefully some fans in this game Saturday. What kind of atmosphere do you think you'll have?
Well, I hope a really good one. We've got to give them some things to cheer about. But 2,500 fans can make a difference. They really can, especially when you're used to not playing in front of any fans. So 2,500 fans can sound loud, and I know what 2,500 Salukis fans can sound like. And so I'm excited for that. I'm excited for our team to feed off that. And I'm really looking forward to hearing that SIU chant in the stadium.
You're talking about NDSU. Their quarterback's new. Obviously, not the running threat is obviously the guy.
Lance. Yeah, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. But they do have deep threats. I mean, are you expecting a little bit more conservative game plan from them than normal, or do you still have to respect Christian Watson and their deep threat?
Yeah, I think if you don't show this team respect, you're going to get your butt whooped. I mean, it's like I said. I mean, they consistently turned over players. They always have. They've got excellent running backs. They've got deep threats. They have speed. They got great tight ends. They got a great offensive line. Honestly, 67 is probably as good as the kid that's going to get drafted here in the top 50 in this draft. So it's really the same story as it's been before, just new numbers, new names.
Yeah, Coach, I know Saturday was frustrating. I'm curious now that you've kind of had a day to go through it. I know what's said in the locker room stays in the locker room, but this is a team with such high expectations to kind of come out and lose like that. What is the mentality of this team? What's being said right now with so much ahead of you guys?
But you really only have one choice to what to do, and that's just to show back up and learn from your mistakes and get better and be excited, just as excited for week 2 as you were for week 1. I mean, when you're a leader and whether you're a coach or you're a player, you should have high expectations, and not all the time are things going to go your way. And it's week 1. We got 7 straight weeks of games coming up, and if you don't put those things to bed, then they continue to happen. But honestly, I mean, we came in and had our normal schedule, and we got right back on the field. Our young guys practiced and developed, in our developmental practice, and they went in and got a great lift in, and there's going to be zero excuses or anything from what happened. We all know what happened in the football game. That's over. That we can't do anything about it. What we can do is get back to the basics and the fundamentals that are going to give us the best chance to win on this Saturday.
Jason kind of touched on this, asking about the positive of what you learned. What maybe overall is just the most that you've learned about this team, not offensively, defensively, but just about your guys in the last couple days here?
Yeah, I think that there's still a lot to learn about this team. I mean, the resiliency and the trust and the how we respond this week is still yet to be seen. So I think we'll learn when we get out there on the field this Saturday. Like I said, I mean, it's a tall task. Like I told him yesterday, you see that game on the schedule, who our next opponent is, and if you're not excited about that opportunity, and if you don't truly believe that you belong in that, then it'll make for a long day. So there's no better team coming to play right now to get that feeling out of your mouth or your gut from a disappointing loss, is to have an unbelievable win, and that's what the opportunity we have for this week.
My last question here is, you kind of talk about the tall task and the opportunity, but last year, I guess 460 days ago, you guys played NDSU, and it was a really close game until kind of down the stretch. Did that give you guys confidence? I mean, do these guys know that they can go out there and get these guys a run for their money as the number one team in the country?
Yeah, I think so. It should, and I believe they feel that way. They were disappointed not to get that win last year, but they, without a doubt, we kind of touched on that, is that they've played them before not that long ago, 3 games ago for us, and so they see on film, they know how good they are, they know what it's going to take to have to win, and honestly, I mean, that's what the game comes down to. I know that I wish there was something else that could be said, but turnovers and the fundamental things and playing winning football. That's why I guess everybody calls it coach talk. Well, that's just what really works over the test of time in this game is doing the things, the little things that it takes to win. And we didn't do that last Saturday, and for us to win this Saturday, that's what we're going to have to do.
Coach, I know I said I got one more, if that's okay.
All right.
And it's just this, we didn't get a chance to ask you this after North Dakota, but how exciting is it to have an MVC season? I mean, you're now kind of, in a weird way, now in a normal routine here. You're on to your next conference game. How excited is this team? How excited are you as a coach right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's football season. That's what we do, and I'm excited for our guys that we get an opportunity to play. I mean, that's what it's all about. And so, we still have the season is going to take a lot of twists and turns. That's what I told them. I mean, week 1 we got beat, and week 2 is here. I mean, we still get tested. There's still going to be some teams. I was completely clear upon that we're playing. The rules in the MVC is if you have 53 available players. So it's going to have to take a lot to not have 53 players. I know 4 teams in our league didn't play. We had just as much weather as everybody else that wasn't able to practice. Our mentality is that we're playing. We didn't have practice for a week and a half, and we're going to play. And we're going to play if we got players that are out because of COVID. We had 2 starters that were out this past week for COVID, and they'll be out again this week. And if we got more, then more players have to step up and be ready to play. And so I'm excited that we're playing. It's week 2. We got to keep doing a lot of things right to make sure this season goes the way that we want it, not just X's and O's on the field, but that's the test of the discipline that we got to have.
Appreciate it, Coach.
All right, thank you.